Hey everybody, this is Alma coming to you from Long Beach, California. Today is Saturday, May 23rd of the year 2020, and this is my 21st FlossTube. So welcome to you all. Welcome to all of you returning viewers and subscribers. Welcome to all you new viewers. I hope that you like what you see and you find a reason to stay and subscribe and continue to follow me on my stitching journey. Feel free to, if you have any questions about anything you see on this video, feel free to drop a comment or reach out to me via Instagram. I always link my Instagram account below. I did get caught up on all my comments. I did promise that I would do that this week. Somebody left a comment. I'm pretty sure it was on my English video and not my Spanish video, because I do videos in Spanish in case you didn't notice. Somebody mentioned like, oh, don't worry about replying, and it just matters to me, you know. She was just like, it's okay, like, you know, things come up, it's fine. But for me, it matters, you know. Like, I always say that I appreciate the comments. I always encourage you to leave comments. So for me, you know, action speaks louder than words. So if I say that it's appreciated, I want to show that appreciation by replying back, because it's always great fun, you know. I love interacting with my viewers. I love interacting with just members of the stitching community. So yeah, so I just felt like I wanted to do that, and I felt bad because I wasn't able to do it or wasn't keeping up with it as well as I should. But it's done now. So I either replied or I acknowledged it. You know, you can put the little heart next to the comment. Anyway, I hope that you are all doing well. I hope you're still staying safe as things start opening back up. It doesn't mean that the danger's over. It just means that we're tiptoeing our way out. So please, please continue to take precautions as necessary. Universal Orlando is opening up on the 5th, I think is what, yeah, June 5th was the news article. So hey, that's something. I don't know how well it's gonna go, but yeah, that was a very interesting bit of news. I think it was yesterday or the day before that they announced it. But you're not here to hear about theme talk or theme park talk. You're here to look at my cross stitching. So without further ado, let's get into the stitching. We are definitely into the tail end of Maynia. This was week 3. And I definitely got a lot done. This week was the final slot, I suppose, for my 5-day focus. My Maynia plans, in case this is the first time you've joined, my Maynia plans consisted of giving 4 of my current whips 5 days rotation. I'm the kind of stitcher that works on you know, at least 2 projects a day. So for me to focus on one project for an extended period of time was unheard of prior to these efforts. So this last week was my last whip, my last focus whip, and yeah, everything after that was just all plans. Well, not plans, because there were no plans, but everything went out the window. My brain was just all over the place, and you'll see. I'll show you. But the last whip on my rotation was my teacup display, and I finished. I can't say how many stitches I put in on this. I tried doing like a rough calculation, and I put in at least 1700 stitches on this without counting any outlining, because I refuse to count backstitch. It was way too much and I just didn't want to do it. and I say 1700 because that's how many stitches I put in for homework for magical stitches, including an extra credit. So it was for the homework it was 200 stitches if it fit the prompt, 300 penalty stitches if it did not fit the prompt. So between a couple of them did fit. Like one of them was we needed to do a whip that was a fast stitch, like was going fast. So I was like, well, yeah, like this one's going pretty fast, because it was just like I was only working on like 4 shades of blue. 1, 2, yeah, 4, 5 shades. It wasn't much, and it was all like pretty much like block colors. So it went pretty fast. So that was 200 stitches, but then there was another one that was like you had to stitch on something that was scary or something, so that was 300. So yeah, overall I did at least 1700 stitches on this, but it didn't count the back stitching. So when you last saw this, I had just started here at the base of the teacup. So in those 5 days, because it did take me 5 days, I just did everything here. I did the teacup and the saucer and all the backstitch within. So the only backstitch that I had done prior to this week was the outlining, and I did that specifically so that I didn't have to worry about all of the backstitching at the end, because as it is, like it was a lot of backstitching. And I did do a few changes on this. According to the chart, the backstitching was supposed to be done in the darkest shade of blue that you can see throughout. But I didn't particularly like that, because I thought if I do it on the darkest shade of blue, a lot of the outlining was right next to that shade of blue. So I'm like, if I do it in that color, then it's going to disappear. Like you won't really tell that it's outlined. So I picked up some random, actually it was random because it was in my D-stash pile, but I actually ended up running out of that gray, and then I found out that it was pretty close to the $37.99 dark gray. So in case you wanted to know what color outline I chose, it was $37.99, and I did the bows in that color as well. The inside details of the teacup and the saucer I did do in that dark blue. So the outline over here for the plate was done in the dark gray, but then anything within was done in the dark blue, and then even this sauce, or the checkered cross stitch back stitch, was done in another shade of blue, like the navy blue that is also this navy blue over here. So yeah, so I tweaked it a little bit, kind of gave it, the thing is the model stitch was also done this way. Like I was trying to look closely at it, and they did the same thing. They kind of, even though it tells you all of the back stitch is supposed to be done in the navy blue, they also, model stitch is also, it uses several shades of blue. So I'm like, okay, liars. But yeah, it is finished, and yeah, this is gonna get framed sometime, and it'll probably go either, by our dining room or our kitchen. And so officially, details. I just used the called for fabric, which is 14 count Aida. I did use most of the called for colors. There was one color that I had to replace because I ran out of the one that they gave me. I started this at the end of December. I started this on December 28th, which I thought was ironic. I'm like, so the last whip that I started last year was my first finish. I finished that. I did a little mini kit with Cinderella, but I don't really count that because it didn't take too long. I mean, I guess you could count it, but yeah, this is my last start of December 2019, and it is a finish. So once I finished with that, I did start my new piece. I was part of my Maynia plan, so my reward for sticking to that 5-day rotation or getting through that 5-day rotation was to have a new start. So this is Mini Midnight Stroll by Julie Fane. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs chart, and I started this with Tess from Tess Stitches on the 21st. So, and it was like legitimate, like, you know, we got, even though she's in Australia, we zoomed for a little bit so that we could start it together. And I don't have that much of a start. I only put in 150 stitches because this was the start of Alma's brain spasms. I don't know why, I just couldn't concentrate on one whip for an extended amount of time anymore. It was like, okay, after focusing on my whips for 5 days, and you know, focusing on that and just like stitching like crazy to get it done, like after that I guess my brain was just like, okay, we're done. But that's 150 stitches. I wasn't able to kit this up properly before starting it, mostly again because I've heard horror stories about the pickup for Joann's. I've seen people, I think Michelle Bendy, Bendy Stitchy, from, I always call Michelle Bendy, it's Michelle from Bendy Stitchy. She actually posted on her story a few days ago how she ordered 2 numbers, but then when she did the pickup thing, the curbside pickup, whatever clerk decided to put her order together got her the wrong colors. So I'm like, yeah, no, that's why I'm not doing it. So I'm just starting. So it's, even though it's technically not the first color that's used, which is how I normally start things, I'm just gonna do the 939 first because I do have enough of that. But yeah, I'm very excited. Guess this will be, since I don't have any kids of my own. This is going to be for my goddaughter, so this is gonna be a gift, and it's not a secret. I told her mom, mostly because she was talking about like decorating the room, painting the walls. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you this now so that you can plan to have this someplace there. This is what I'm gonna be stitching. I intend to have it done within the next 2 years. So yeah, so I was very happy to start that, and I'm looking forward to continuing to stitch on it. But after getting those 150 stitches in, I decided, you know, again, my brain was just all over the place, and I thought, okay, well, there's nothing better to calm that, you know, that sporadic feeling than a new start. Because that's how my mind works, and that's how it works, right? You finish one, you start 2. That's how that goes, right? And you might have seen this on my Instagram. So this is the mason jar lineup. This is the dimensions kit, and I am using the called for the everything that comes in the kit, the fabric and the floss. I was on Virtual Stitchers while I was bobbinating this, and I was on Virtual Stitchers, and one of the ladies there was like, well, because you know these already come pre-sorted, and so she's like, why are you bobbinating when it's already done for you? And I'm like, I tried using it this way with because they give you these cardboard things, and that's where they hang the floss. and for me it just got too tangled. I never really liked it. So, and I know that it's gonna end up being bobbinated anyways, because that's how I organize all my spare floss, right? So I'm like, well, it's already gonna get bobbinated, so I didn't mind it. And she's like, yeah, okay. I accept that as an answer. But I don't know if you would even consider this a start, guys. I literally put in, where are they? Do you see those three stitches? That's it. That's all I did. I literally, like, I put in those stitches. I took a picture, you know, for the gram, for the Instagram, and then I got this. I ended up eating. Like, I was like, oh, let's get food. Oh, okay. And then I just didn't go back to it. That's literally all my brain, all my mojo wanted was the new start. It was literally it just wanted to get it out of the system, but I can't. There's nothing to see. I'm like, you know, I'm holding it up. There's literally nothing to see. But yes, I started it. You know, I always say, oh, like, you know, because of the situation that we're in, you know, I've been moaning and groaning about not being able to start any things because they all involve going to kit things up. So then, you know, during the week I was like, well, Alma, you have kits and they come with everything that you need. If you want to switch out fabric, you have plenty of fabric in your fabric stash. So there was no more excuses. So I decided to start the kit. But I also did maths this week. Seeing as how I was quote unquote done with my Maynia, I was like, okay, back to business. And it's not pretty. I mean, some of these because so if you are new, because I haven't done this in a few weeks, if you're new, my normal way of working my whips is I have goals. So actually, let's just do that real quick, because I do have a couple more things to show you anyways. So let's just finish whips first and then go into plans. That's how it works, right? So Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff has a Facebook group called WhipGo. WhipGo 2020 is the name of the group. I'll link it below. Anything that you saw here, I mean, besides, you know, the mason jar lineup, which is I just got it at Joann's. I'll go ahead and link to the whips. So I'll go ahead and link Heaven and Earth Designs, so that you can find anything that you saw here. But she created this group this year, and the premise is, you know, you have it's like bingo. You have a bingo board with a free slot in the middle. The point is to have one whip per slot, but you can have multiple slots per whip. I didn't do it that way. I just did one whip per slot, or one slot per whip. And then this entire row down here I left for new starts. So I actually do need to fill in, because I did start the midnight stroll, so I'll go ahead and add her there. I don't know if I want to add, I don't know if I want to add the jar lineup, the mason jar lineup, but she calls 2 numbers per month, and then those becomes your focus for the month. So this month the numbers she calls were 4 and 20. Anyways, so how I'm doing it is I go ahead and mark, you know, I'll outline the focus pieces of the month, and then once I achieve the monthly goal for each one, I'll go ahead and fill it in. And then when I accomplish the yearly goal, that's when it gets outlined in that maroon or wine color marker. I just liked it because it matched the board. But so as you can see, I only have 2 yearly goals marked. One for teacup, which I just finished, and that was the goal of the year. And then my Sleeping Beauty whip, the Aurora piece, that one, even though it hasn't been called yet, I did finish the yearly goal, which was to finish a page. So if and when it is called, I'll go ahead and take it back out so I can accomplish the monthly goal, which is 500 stitches. But yeah, I'm kind of freaking out because I'm like, well, okay, you know, we're in May, almost June, and I only have 2 goals accomplished. So I've decided that for the rest of May, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get as many of those goals accomplished. So the first one up is June, because that is one of the called for whips of the day, of the month. This is another Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on Anna Dittman's artwork. And I'm almost done with the goal. The goal for the month is 2,000 stitches. I put in 600 stitches this week, so I only have 500 more to go, because I have already done some previously during the month. But this is where I am at right now. And most of the stitching came in this area right here. So this is actually the edge of that color. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the edge of the, yep, it's the edge of the first rose petal. So that's exciting. This is the start of the rose right here. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and knock out those last 500 stitches on this, so that I can go ahead and fill that in yellow and call it a day. The yearly goal for this is to hit 10,000 stitches. I still have 4,000. Actually, once I finish this 1,000 or 2,000, yeah, 2,000 stitch goal, I'll only have 3,000 to go, because even though I did do the math, I did it before finishing the last 1,000 for this. But still, it's going to be a bit of a goal, a bit of a challenge. Well, not really. I'll just try to focus on that in the next couple of months. Once I do finish those 2,000 stitches, the first yearly goal that I want to get out of the way is one of my Maynia focuses. This is watercolor floral, and when I was working on this, I knew that I only had to do, you know, just get progress done every day, but I was trying to shoot for the page finish. However, at the time, it was a bit of a lofty goal, because it's a much slower stitch than others. But this is what I have done so far. Most of what's done, or most of what's remaining, is just random areas. Like, there's some pink that needs to be filled in here, and some brown and gold that needs to be filled in these. And that is the edge of the page. So where that grid line is down on the brown leaves, that's the edge of a page. And then the next line is it's like right here. So I do go over, because the overlay in this is really interesting. Like, there's no the overlap is the same on both pages. So like, normally when you have an overlap on one page, it's okay, like it's easy to read on the next page. But for this one, they have the overlap, and they're considered overlap on both, if that makes sense. So they're grayed out on both pages. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get that done if I can. But yeah, this is going to be the first thing that I try to knock out of the park, because there's not much left now. I think ballparking it might be like 200, 300 stitches. So hopefully next time I see you, I'll have a page finish on this. After that, the next thing I'll focus on is my Esmeralda piece, because for that one I only have 2,000 stitches to go on that one. So that'll be another quote-unquote easy goal to get out of the way. That is my focus piece for Full Coverage Fanatics for this month, because we're doing France for the Around the World challenge, and you know, Hunchback of Notre Dame, it takes place in Paris, France. So I think it'll be easy to get that also knocked out, hopefully. Because again, it's just, for me, it was just really frustrating, I suppose. Not frustrating, but I can't think of the right word, to see that, you know, we're so far into the year and I mean, I do get plenty accomplished, but I still haven't reached any goals yet. But another piece that I didn't bring it up because I didn't remember until just now, but one piece I am going to be working on this week, tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Peter Pan is turning 7 on the 29th, so okay, no, not tomorrow. On the 29th of this month, Peter Pan does turn 7. I just started in 2013, so I will go ahead and take it out to commemorate the birthday, and hopefully I'll get some things done on that as well, because I did get a ton done on it this month. I got 2,700 stitches, so who knows, maybe I can hit 3,000 for the month. We'll see. So back to plants. So now we're into plants. The monthly, I did do my monthly stats. So again, for you new viewers that don't normally, or because I've been doing things differently in May, you may not be aware of how I stitch normally. What I typically do is I'll go ahead and I take the yearly goals that I set down for myself, and I calculate how much I would need to get done per week in order to achieve each goal. Whether it be, you know, to have it done by the end of the year, or to have half of it done by the end of the year. It varies. Every whip has its own different goal. And because I wasn't able to focus on my pieces as normal during this month, I knew that a lot of them would change. I kind of anticipated a lot of those average stitches going up, but some of them changed a lot. And I'm wondering if I did the math wrong previously, because one of the whips that did go up, and it went up by a lot, is my change of seasons. It went from going from, and the thing is, like, I did the math with Zakia, like, we were like, yeah, that sounds about right. It went from 350 stitches per week to 600. How? I don't know. That's why I'm wondering. Maybe I did the math wrong. I don't know. But that went up. Moon Charmer went up as well, which is another Heaven and Earth Designs chart of mine. That was my boyfriend, in case you heard that. Bless you! Moon Charmer went up from 650, I think it was. I have my numbers here. It went up from 650 to 700. Bilbo went up 100 as well. It went up from 550 to 650. The rest are kind of the same. You know, for the ones that I did work on this month, it wasn't as much. Esmeralda went down from 150 to 100. Hogwarts remained the same. It's still 500 stitches. Peter Pan did go down. It went from 350 to 250, but that's because I did a lot. So yeah, I'm trying to like double check. June went down from 200 to 150 a week. My villains piece also went up. It went up from 350 to 450 stitches a week. So yeah, it is. And I'm adding like new starts as I go. I'm gonna be starting another piece in June and at least 2 more in July. Like, that's another reason why I don't know if I want to go ahead and add the mason jar lineup to my whip go board, is because I know that there's new haids coming. And my mirabilia. Well, actually my mirabilia is already on there, but I have to restart it. I'm waiting on the fabric for that one. But yeah, the rest are pretty much the same. But still, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, I do know what I'm going to do. I have a game plan. Okay, since we're already in plans, I'm going to, as I mentioned, I'm gonna just try to focus on each one at a time. But I say that. For School of Magical Stitches, in addition to the weekly and the monthly challenges, there is a year-long ultimate stitching challenge available, where you're building your resort, like you're building your own park resort, and these tasks are for larger stitch counts. So for one part you have to build, and you can pick and choose whichever one you want. Because of me, I'm just going down the line. You have to build deluxe resorts, which are actually no, false, value resorts, sorry. Value resorts are 2,000 stitches each, and these are all in 500 stitch increments. You've heard, if you've been with me for a while, then you've heard about these. So I'm gonna go ahead and use these to achieve those goals. For example, Esmeralda, because I only have 2,000 stitches to go, I'm using her to build one of those value resorts. So once I finish that resort, I'll have finished with her goal. And then another one is my mini one piece, which is my Zindi Nielsen Heaven and Earth Designs chart. It's the woman at the beach. She needs a little under 2,500 stitches to go before her yearly goal is accomplished. So I'm using her for the moderate resorts, which are 3,000 stitches each. So again, once I finish that resort, I'll have finished with her yearly goal. And then the same with Wonder Woman. I'm using her for one of the deluxe villas. I had already started working on her for the deluxe villa. The Boulder Ridge is the specific one. But for Wonder Woman, I need to do 3,200 stitches in order to be done with the goal. And for her, I have 3,000 stitches to go on the ultimate task. So for her, I'll just have like about 200 stitches to go before her goal is accomplished. So I'm trying to do what I can. I'm trying to be as organized, and I like to have, you know, my stitches count for something. So yeah, so I hope to be able to get those knocked out pretty soon, especially because for those the weekly stitch count for those isn't high, because again these are supposed to be done by the end of the year, but I'm just trying to get those out of the way so I can focus on the larger count goals faster. And for Esmeralda, it's less than 100. For Wonder Woman, it's about 150 a week. So so I'm thinking I'll just do 500 for each week, so I can get those knocked out soon. But yeah, so that's all I have for you at the moment. I will go ahead and get started on these goals this week so that I can, you know, get a head start and I don't have that much of a panic attack in July when I draw these average counts again. But yeah, for now I'll go ahead and focus on watercolor first, and then Esmeralda, you know, and then do the 500 stitches on those 4 pieces: Esmeralda, Mini One, Wonder Woman, and Snow Girl is another one. Snow Girl is, I'm using that one for my 20 and 20 challenge from Full Coverage Fanatics, where you have to do 20,000 stitches in one project for the year 2020. I'm halfway done with that challenge. I have 10,000 stitches to go, so I am using her for another one of the ultimate tasks, which is the travel part. So you have to travel to each of the parks. So she's going to get 500 stitches as well. All this talk, I'm like, I say that. Will I get it done? I don't know, because we still have the weekly homework to go. But you know, plans are plans. They're not set in stone. I like to quote Captain Barbosa and say that they're guidelines more than actual rules, because goodness knows they change a lot. But yeah, that's all I have to show you for today. Hopefully again next time I'll see you, I'll have a page finish for you, 2 page finishes for you actually, because Moon Charmer is very close to a page finish. So hopefully I have those 2 to show you next week. And thank you as ever for sticking around if you have made it thus far. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me. Again, if you have any questions about anything you saw here today, feel free to drop me a comment down below, or reach out to me via Instagram. If you are still doing Maynia, because my Maynia is done, but if you're still going strong on your Maynia, then good luck to you. I hope that you accomplish all your goals and that you have fun, because that's what it's supposed to be, right? Having fun and pushing yourself to do something new. So until next time, happy stitching, guys. Bye.